Shalom. I'd like to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai by Hashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, the great millstone who rule well, and shalom to you sincere, hopeful, elect brothers and sisters listening and learning, and to you brothers preaching and teaching the truth through the four corners of the earth. This is Brother Nathan coming out of the GMS Indianapolis camp. Coming back with this quick video from Dabu 7. Reason this caption says a mysterious intergalactic object could potentially be a hostile alien spacecraft that's slated to attack our planet in November, according to a controversial new study by a small group of scientists. You can read more on this, but it says I'm gonna keep reading. Actually, it says the consequences, should the hypothesis turn out to be correct, could potentially be dire for humanity. The researchers wrote in the inflammatory paper, which was published July 16th to the preprint server ARXIV, Southwest News Service reported. Dubbed 3I Atlas, the interstellar entity was discovered on July 1st, rocketing toward the sun at more than 130,000 miles an hour. Live Science reported less than 24 hours later, it was confirmed to be an interstellar object with initial observations suggesting that it could be a comet that measures up to 15 miles in diameter, larger than Manhattan. However, in the new paper, the trio of researchers suggested that it might be a piece of extraterrestrial spy technology in disguise. One of the researchers, Avi Loeb, a prominent Harvard astrophysicist known for linking extraterrestrial objects to alien life, previously made waves after floating the theory that 2017 interstellar object Oumuamua could be an artificial recon probe sent by alien civilization based on its odd shape and acceleration. And we know it's not aliens, it's, the chariots of Yahweh Bashim El Shai, the vehicles where the angels are in, I'm going to get the scripture real quick, and then we'll play the video. This is Psalm 68 and verse 17. The chariots of Yahweh Bashim El Shai are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord, and that's Yahweh Shai right there, capital Lord, is among them as in Sinai in the holy place. All right, so hey, that's what we're seeing when we look up and they're seeing these UFOs, unidentified flying objects, or UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena. As the last couple of years, as the military has, released video footage of, the chariots of the Lord, doing their thing here on the earth, man. We're drawing nigh to the end, so guess what? The signs of the in the heavens, man, are being showed, that the Lord is getting ready to make his grand return, man. All right, let's play this video and get a couple more precepts. I'm going to close this out.
This is Dabu 7. And believe it or not, we have yet another object, this interstellar object, making its way toward Earth that many are saying could be an alien probe. It could have life, a bunch of different theories surrounding this. But an official report put out, and it's making headlines because, if you recall, the very first interstellar object that came through our neck of the woods was dubbed Oumuamua. That means scout, which is something that you send out in front of the larger army to scout things out before they arrive. This is now the third object, and Oumuamua was long, it was metallic in nature, and it lifted up out of here, picked up speed, and took off out of here when it passed Earth. They don't deny none of this. It's all out there in the open. Now this new object making its way in, dubbed Atlas, they're saying it could potentially be a comet, but seeing where it came from in its trajectory, it's very peculiar. And they're saying that it is not following the line of any other comet, so to speak, if it was going to be a comet. that it starts to fall in line with dropping into the area out of an unknown place. They don't know if it will be hostile. They don't know if it'll be peaceful. None of these things. But it's obvious they've been setting the stage for a grand show. Blue beam, alien invasion, the whole works. Something big is in the offing. And with stories like this continuing to drop, it seems like it's inching closer and closer. Now, I've tracked objects like Comet Elenin, Ison, all those throughout all these years. All kinds of different comets, the Kachinas, people say, potentially in the sky. I've never seen one look like this in the imaging, where it has all of these different colors. Like this, never. All we've ever seen is it look like this down here on the bottom right on the black and white images, and when it gets close enough, the comets, so to speak, you could make out the tail off the comets, and you can see these from your own backyard with the telescope once they get close enough. This object is going to come right down near Earth to make, I guess, an observance, but when it makes its closest approach, it will be hiding behind the sun. We will not be able to see it. It will strategically and literally be parked behind the sun when it's at its closest approach. So, very odd with all the characteristics here. They're expecting this to show up here later this year. Um, it's moving at an enormous amount of speed, more than 130 miles per hour. This is moving faster than any other object that they've clocked coming in this way. At this point, they're saying, dubbed 3I/Atlas. This is the new, as they call it, interstellar entity that is heading this way. Join me for the live streams where I talk about this in greater detail, going live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, so there it is, So hey, it's just another thing to look forward to, as Yahweh Shema Shai is visiting the world that he's made. Let's get this Zechariah chapter 5, verse 1. It says, "Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes, and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits." So what he's saying is a chariot, a vehicle of the Lord, of the angels. It appeared to be like a rolled up damn, it's like a scroll, right? A flying roll. It says, "Then he said unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it." And it says, "And I will bring it forth, saith Yahweh Shema Shai of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief." And who's the thief? Esau, even the so-called white man. All right. And it's going to and his house is here in America, Babylon the Great, his chief city, America. All right. He's the thief because he's done nothing but rape, rob, and murder. Ultimately he's stolen the children of Israel. All right, the apple of the Lord's eyes. It says, "And into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof." And see, and that's right, because the chariots are coming with what? Concentrated laser beams, man, zapping people. You can't, you got a glimpse of it in that movie, The War of the Worlds. Even though those weren't flying, they had them big machine, walking machine deals, zapping people. But these are gonna be flying. Let's get Oops. This is Acts chapter 1, verse. Let's start at verse 6. Acts chapter 1, verse 6 said, when they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel? And he said unto them, this is Yahweh Shai, who is in his celestial body, made his appearance. It says, restore again the kingdom to Israel. And he said unto him, it is not for you to know the times or the seasons which the Father hath put in his own power. Meaning what? We know the sign. We know when Yahweh Shemashah is coming back by with the prophecies and stuff, but we don't know the exact date. Okay. But ye shall receive power after the Holy Spirit is come upon you, and ye shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem and in all Judea and in Samaria and unto the uttermost part of the earth. And here now we are in the uttermost part of the earth. All right, the Western Hemisphere, here in the Americas. North, Central, South in America. Then chiefly here in America, Babylon the Great. Verse 9, here's the point. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel, two angels, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahweh Shai, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. See? He said, once again, this same Yahweh Shai, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. So he's going to come back. Because that's why, because he was beamed up in the chariot. It was good. This is Revelation 1 and 7. It said, Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. And what are those clouds? Those are the chariots. All right? He's not coming on a Nimbus cloud like in a Dragon Ball Z. No, actual a chariot, a so-called UFO, UAP. And every eye shall see him, right? So it's going to, you're going to see it's televised. You're going to see, the whole world's going to see Yahweh Shemashah return with his army of chariots. And they also which pierced him, showing what? Reincarnation. Because those same spirits that were back when Yahweh Shai got put on the cross are here today, including the wicked of our own people that wanted Yahweh Shai to be put to death. They're back here today to receive judgment. And it says, and all the kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, Amen. Yep. They're going to wail because Yahweh Shai is coming back to reign supreme and take down all these rulers. All right? King of kings, Lord of lords. Let's get a... Matter of fact, let me see if it has... I'm looking for something here. Yeah, we can get this too. This is Isaiah 19 and 1. This is the burden of Egypt. Behold, Yahweh Shemashah rideth upon a swift cloud. See? What swift cloud? No, it's a chariot. It's a chariot. All right. All right. A so-called alien spacecraft, right? and shall come into Egypt. And we know what modern day Egypt is. This ain't talking about ancient Egypt. It's talking about the modern day Egypt, which this Egypt just means house of bondage. And where's the house of bondage? Here in America, Babylon the Great, where you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans serve slavery here. All right, and continue to be in slavery. It's no longer physical chains, but we're mental chains here in America. And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. See? Because when Yahweh Shemashah comes with his chariots, all right, it's going to destroy it. I mean, first of all, it's going to destroy it, but the sight of seeing this great force come upon the earth is gonna destroy all that was ever brought up, man. You know, and then the Lord's Spirit's gonna be in the thermonuclear missiles that are gonna come and gonna be launched and destroy this place, man. America, Babylon the Great. Also with, like I said, the concentrated lasers from the chariots, man. These are the times we're looking forward to, us of the hopeful elect, man. That's why the scripture say, hasten the time. All right, so we're in some exciting times, man. We keep seeing, the more sightings and the appearance of these chariots are becoming more and more frequent. All right, and I'm gonna get this and we'll close out and we'll make it too long. This is Romans 13 and 11. It says, "And that knowing the time." Right? See, we're in the know. We know the times we're in because what? The chariots. I mean, excuse me. Well, that's true. That's true. Right? Because we're seeing the chariots. That's part of the signs of the times. All right? That's why the second Ezra 9 chapter talks about measure the time diligently in itself. Right? How we measure through the prophecies of the scriptures. This isn't that knowing the time, that now it is a high time to wake out of sleep. All right? They're saying the time to be caught up in all the BS in the world. All right, it's time to pay attention, be circumspect. All right, know your surroundings, know what's going on, be in the know. All right, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. Yep. So that's the main thing. All right, the salvation is nearer than when we believe. And here it is, us of the hopeful elect. Like I said, we feel it in the air. Something major is about to happen. And then, but guess what? Yahweh Shema Shai is getting ready to speed it up even more than we even think. All right, so that's the beautiful thing about the Lord, man. Verse 12, it says, "The night is far spent, the day is at hand." See, because of what comes with the night. All right, like I said, being in that slumber, that sleep state, not knowing what's going on, just focused on your own little bubble and being comfortable with what's going on in the world, all the wickedness that comes with it, because this world has been built on going against the law, statutes, commandments, and that's why Yahweh Shema Shai is making his return to cleanse the earth of all this wickedness. It says the day is at hand. What does the day represent? The light. All right, the wisdom, knowledge, understanding is out. All right, of Yahweh Shema Shai, the truth. All right, that used to be covered up is now broken through. All right, and it's prospering. And it says, "Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness." Right, let's put off the sin. Let's put off, going against the law, statute, commandments. And said, "And let us put on the armor of light." And what's that? The law, statute, commandments of the Holy Bible. All right. The words of Yahweh Shema Shai. "Let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envying, but," see, because those are all attributes of being, being wicked. All right. Those are characteristics of someone that's not in the truth and not taking Yahweh Shema Shai seriously in his word. Verse 14, "But put ye on the Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. So be as Yahweh Shai, right? And make not provision for the flesh. We know we can't be perfect on this side like Yahweh Shai did, but we got to be strive, all right? That's why we got to be in that spirit of Judges 5 and 11, rehearsing the righteous acts, all right? 'Cause just like in rehearsal, you go hard in rehearsal and practice so that you can be what? Prepared for the real, right? Whether it be sports, like you're ready for the game, or a play, you're ready to perform at the highest level, right? So that's why we rehearse the righteous acts of Yahweh Shem Sham. It says, and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof, right? And don't let this flesh get in the way of your mission, that Yahweh Shem Shai has bestowed upon his hopeful elect to push his word and to rehearse righteousness, all right? Yeah. Just man fall 7 times and get back up. That's for us, of the hopeful elect, because, this flesh is, desperately wicked. So we got to, continue to fight. All right. Continue to give that effort for Yahweh Shema Shai, man. Because you can see what, let me see, let me get the, channel. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find this real quick. Slovakia. This is Luke chapter 21, verse 27. It says, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. Yep, see, that's Yahweh Shai coming on that chariot. All right. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. And that's where our salvation is coming. All right, the strangeness of our salvation. Wisdom Solomon, the 5th chapter. All right, when they see these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans getting beamed up in these so-called UFOs or UAPs, these alien spacecrafts, that's gonna be, those are the vehicles of the Lord, man, to beam up and protect his elect, or of the nation of Israel. So with that, I pray that was edifying to the elect. I'd like to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone.